There's two ways we use the dish. We're either listening or we're transmitting. Most of the times we're listening, but occasionally we transmit. So an example of transmitting was as part of the NASA InSight mission to Mars. They launched two small satellites alongside it. It was called Mars Cube 1, or MARCO was the acronym. And it had two antennas, one which looks back at Earth to relay data to and from Earth, and NASA has a series of deep space antennas that talk on that link. The second antenna was at right angles to that one to look down at Mars and watch the lander actually go through the thick atmosphere of Mars and land. So they wanted to test that link between the lander and the CubeSat to see that it was working properly. But the problem is it's at a different frequency than the main communications, and the antenna's pointing at right angles to Earth. So they needed a lot of power transmitted to work its way into that antenna to give it a signal as if it was talking to the lander. So they hired us to do that. And with the big dish, we sent out the carrier signal that the lander would send when it's actually landing on Mars. And the goal was to get the MARCO cubes to lock on that signal and send a message back to NASA saying, we're detecting the signal. So we did that when it was about 1 million miles away from Earth. So that was a really exciting project. The only downside for us is that the satellites were launched around 4 o'clock in the morning, and since the Earth is rotating, every day we wanted to do that, we had to be up and running by 4 o'clock in the morning. So we pretty much headed out about 2 o'clock in the morning, got everything set up, coordinated with NASA, and would send out a message as if we were the InSight satellite talking to the MARCO relays.